snap. Just make sure I get some people invited over here. My volume here so I don't interrupt myself. Go ahead and share my information on Facebook. Let's see if I can get this going. So yeah, let me see. So anyway, what's up, guys? I am oh yeah, my man John. But we gotta talk, man. I want to do this more seriously. I gotta talk to you about the other stuff too. But let's see what happens. So I'm just trying to invite people from wherever, and oh well. I'm just trying to get something going here. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to share my stuff. I can't find stuff. Here we go. Alright. So I know I'm really boring right now. Boring the tar out of myself. But I really want to just get this going so I can. I think I made a mistake. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. All right. Right. So tonight I'm gonna continue on. I have to post up my last video. I didn't do a good job of. I think and it's probably doing it again. I'm saving it as an FLV file, and I should have fixed that. Let me see. No, please make sure you set the Twitch to archive so it saves the stream to your channel to be viewed later by your follower. How do I do that? How do I do that, John? Explain it to me. Explain it to me. Is it in Twitch or is it on OBS? I guess I gotta go profile. I don't know. Probably shouldn't have done that. Anyway, so I'm kind of jacked up. Alright. I just came back to my thing. I saved the videos. It's on my hard drive. It's just a different file. And I was trying to edit it and wouldn't edit because I'm kind of a dork. But anyway. Alright, so again, the goal here is to transfer more of my my streaming onto here at Twitch, and I certainly appreciate some of you guys that are hanging out with me right now, and it's super cool, man. So I just kind of set up a file here, just a blank file that I'm going to work on. Just so, 8 by 10, I want to draw some stuff, and I'm going to try to do this as frequently as possible. I'm going to have more of a schedule coming up soon, and we can try to figure out how that's going to be better for all of you guys. So my phone is buzzing. Reject that right now. Okay. So I'm drawing with red again, and I'm gonna go pick my favorite brush that I like to use. It's my mechanical pencil, or no, the animator pencil right now. So you guys know I've been using Kyle Webster's brushes. Those are really, really great brushes. Hey, what's up, you guys? How's everybody doing? Follow you work on Instagram, great stuff. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. There you know. I try to keep it fresh. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep it fresh. Here. Is that helpful? Let's do that. Now look kind of scary, like a horror movie. Anyway. All right, so. All right, so I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to bring this window over to the screen, so I'm not looking at these two screens all the time. So I can kind of see what you guys are saying, and I can respond on the one screen. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Let me show you. Well, do you guys want to see the one I was working on? Again, the downside is I don't have the equipment yet to post, to do the videos from here at on my drawing board, which is right next to me. But so those of you who don't know what I do, maybe this might help. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to do this real quick. Feeling that? Feeling that? So basically, it's just it's a commission I'm doing for someone. I'm going to be in Chicago for C2E2. What do you call it? It's kind of fresh. Anyway, I'm going to be in Chicago for C2E2, and I really am looking forward to meeting everybody that's out there, and all of you that are. Man, thank you, Abraham. Thank you very much. So I'm trying to get that going, and I'm also going to try to do more of those type of things here on Twitch, and maybe build up. You know, that could be some valuable stuff for you guys. When I do Periscope, I try to make it as educational as possible for everybody, but I'm also trying to see if I can, you know, sometimes I try to enlighten you guys on certain ideas, if it's like a political thing, or not political thing, like a business thing, professional thing. Do I have a Twitter by chance? I do have Twitter, as a matter of fact. To watch you work on pencil. He set you up with that. Okay, that'd be awesome, man. Because I'm waiting on some equipment, but it's not here yet, obviously, and I don't want to waste everybody's time. But for now, I can work on my Cintiq, and we can kind of use this as a way to communicate with each other. Anyway, so I do have a Twitter. If you go on Twitter, it's going to be my Jerkmonger, or you can look up Elliot Fernandez. Here, I'll write it down for you guys. It's going to be oh, I'm getting a little lag. I think something's wrong with some stuff. I'm actually going to shut down some of the files. I think that's what's holding me back. These are some sketches I've been doing for some logos. And call that a day. This will just get me cleaned up real fast, right quick. Okay, so yeah, so Jerkmonger on Twitter, or it might be. The only bad thing about the Cintiq is it wants to snap back every time I do some stuff. Or don't know. I look dumb right now. Whatever. Whatever works. Bam! We're going to make him an overlay that will have his info as well as his bio. Yes, thank you. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you very much, Kingdom. I appreciate that. So yeah, so I'm going to take that off now. I'm going to start drawing. So I think the flow is the problem. That's still kind of weird thing there. What's going on there? Is it this? No. Is it this? Could be. So I'm going to go ahead and just going to go back to mechanical pencil. So I'm going to get that squared away. Go back to red. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? I'm going to go ahead and upload the floor to those of you who may want to suggest a particular character you want me to draw. I'm going to try to limit this tonight to about an hour, maybe, hour and a half. You guys can ask me questions along the way and really try to dial into some stuff. So in the meantime, I'm going to continue drawing what I started drawing the other night, which was Wolverine. Or Deadpool? Deadpool though, man? Well, I guess Deadpool can do too. Okay, let's try that. So I'm going to go ahead and, just for fun, just kind of get in here. Spider-Man? Okay, alright. Alright, let's see. I'm going to kind of, well, first thing I'm going to do, instead of drawing so large, I'm going to draw a little smaller for what I call them, they're like my warm-ups. They're like 10-second sketches. And all I'm going to do is just do some quick figure drawing and kind of get some ideas out of my head just to get, you know, different poses and then maybe I can just do some other things. So let's say both, but Deadpool seems like the most right now. Yeah, but you know what? I'll do both of them. Alright, so I'm going to start real small because, like I said, I want a symbiote suit Spider-Man. Okay. So just kind of give myself a quick figure. Just about 10 seconds worth of drawing. I'm just trying to. This isn't great, but this is just to get you kind of out of that initial funk of like, okay, what am I going to draw? What should it be? Blah blah blah. All right, so that's one. Maybe Deadpool is trying to be fancy here. Let's see. Maybe Deadpool is. I don't know what Deadpool's doing. Is Deadpool with a sword or something? Forward leg and the back leg. I don't know. Maybe. How about we go with a little bit of. It's always good to just kind of do the classic poses right up front to get your brain in that mode. This is kind of a cool one. This is where you can draw him with his guns or whatever. Although I don't care for drawing guns too much, just not for any other reason than because they're just difficult. So, giving Spider a wedgie. Oh, yeah, okay. So then what would that look like? That would be, maybe it's, Deadpool's here, and we can kind of, maybe he's doing one of these things while Spidey's not looking or something. pants coming up. And Spidey's doing the woohoo! The Daffy Duck. Like, yikes. Yikes, Scoob. Alright, so. This isn't the Marvel way for sure. This is definitely just a basic idea. I'm just trying to get the concept of them, how they would be interacting, and then kind of come up with another way to do it. Maybe instead, Spidey's looking at the camera. He's like, oh man, yikes. And then behind him is Deadpool going, woohoo! With a good tug on the shorts. Nice, nice. Wow, thanks guys. I really appreciate you guys coming by, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping, we'll get some more people on here and you guys can interact with me more, but on a platform that's a little more stable and I've been using for Periscope and such. What do you guys think about that so far? Am I still in the comic industry? I mean, are you ever out of it once you get in? I don't know. It's like the mafia. I'm trying to get more work. I'm in the middle of doing some other things right now, so I'm not really that concerned about that. There's some rumors that some people are considering me for projects, but whatever. That's fine. So I like this right here. I like this idea right here. I think I'm going to pursue that. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to change my orientation to this. Let's see, image, rotation, counterclockwise, whatever. Paste. I'm just going to go ahead and do these things. And I'm going to lower the opacity so I can turn it into more of a sketch deal. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it so much. Seriously, I do appreciate it. I got a lot going on these days, so any support, you guys, just coming out to hang out with me and that kind of thing, it's pretty great. So, all right. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this drawing a little more seriously. I'm going to go and start with a rough stage, only because I don't always do this. I'll usually just go in for the kill, but sometimes, when you're trying to do it, there's a more of a proper way, or at least a little more efficient way. And if I'm not careful, I will ruin the drawing. Now, I'm working digitally, so I'm not that concerned about, hey, what's going on, Force One? What's up, man? I'm not that concerned about, making mistakes, because I can edit it pretty simply in here, but But I got to check out the link you sent me. Final product and share on Instagram. Yeah, sure. Why not? Please credit me though, so people will want to come out and hang out with me some more too. That'd be great. Is there anything else? All right. So yeah, so I'm jamming over here. I'm kind of, a little bit of that. Spidey's like, oh snap. I'm going to play with the shape of his eyes a little bit here since I can. I'm going to go ahead and... Just to get that look like boing. You know what I'm saying? And this comes out pretty cool. Maybe I'll turn it into a print. So how does Spider-Man act? Like he'd be like, is he like this? Oh, is he like You know that is it a yikes? It's what is the shape, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out now. Because I want it to be natural, but it can be kind of weird if it's just a weird pose. See, another mistake I make sometimes is like what I'm doing here. Sometimes I get too into the details too soon, and like I'm already trying to draw the mask part. I don't even know this is the way I want to draw his head. So I'm just kind of this early drawing is just a guide, just to give me some general placement. I'm going to try to do something a little different. In fact, I'm going to lower the opacity a little further so I don't get too distracted with it. I like the idea of the shoulders being hunched up, right? But maybe instead of it doing that, maybe he's more like this. You know, his arm is kind of curled up in front of him, like like you just saw someone like on a skateboard trying to grind on a rail and they just fall right on their crotch. That kind of yikes. So maybe his head is more just like I just did with my face. Maybe he's more to the side. Let's see. You guys feel free to ask me anything if you want to talk about anything. I've been on a bunch of rants lately, so I don't want to scare you guys away yet. Especially those of you who are just for the first time discovering me here on Twitch. Right? It's all good. So I'm gonna give him a twisted torso though. I want something else like yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out, make sure I know how to archive this. I hope I can. That's the last frontier for me, and then we're gonna be in good shape. That and a couple other things, but oh yeah, he's gonna be doing the pee-pee dance. It does, but I think I have to activate that as far as like getting it set up. So I'll check back. I'll see what I can do for you. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move my chat higher so you guys can call you. Okay. Very good, man. Like I said, I'm going to try to move this window a little higher so I can see the questions a little better. I don't need to look at myself the whole time, I suppose, right? It's a little vain. It's a little vain. Shit. What's wrong with me? Alright, so you see what I'm doing here? I'm kind of giving him those weird fingers, like it's just all like yikes, you know, ugh, that kind of eek, that sort of thing. And I got to figure out a way to make his eyes look rounder, because you want to give him that surprise look. Unless I'm going to go for that John Romita senior look, which is could be, you know, kind of depends. It's a little smaller frame than probably I'd like him to be, but in terms of his physique, but I'm fine with that for Spidey. Normally I would make him a little bulkier. So like I said, I'm going to try to make sure that I can do a thanks guys. Kind of how are you drawing on? I'm working on the Cintiq 13 HD. and trying to get. I'd like to upgrade it eventually to something a little larger. But right now, for my office area, this is a perfect size. I can work, using my iMac as my main monitor. I can put a bigger window up front so I can look at what I'm doing there and see if I'm wasting my time drawing something I won't print or that kind of stuff. So now this other hand, this other arm, what should I do with it? It's kind of cool. I think I'm going to go with the rest of the figure first. What inspires me to draw? Man, I love a lot of different kinds of art. I am a big fan of comic books, obviously, but it's not just comic books. I really love great stories, underdog stories, and religious stuff is big for me. Not just anything, but certain ideas that I'm particularly excited about in terms of my faith. And so, yeah, but I get jazzed about when I see certain artists, certain other comic artists. I get pumped up about guys like Joe Madureira, um, J. Scott Campbell, Lee Weeks. You guys familiar with the guys from Creature Box? Those guys are great. They get me pumped up too. So I think does that answer your question? Do you have anything more specific you're asking? Let me know. So Spidey looks a little short now for what I've done here with him. And I wonder why is that. So I've given him part of his got a large head. That's my thing. And maybe that's why I was concerned about his physique earlier. I think that might be one of the culprits here. Mine's too small. Let's see. So at least it's a little larger, so now I can enlarge the whole thing. Oops. This is why I love me some digital. Alright. You guys seen all that so far? I'm trying to. So yeah, I'll be in Chicago in a couple of weeks, man. C2E2 is right around the corner. I can't believe it. It seems like I just booked my ticket, my plane fare, and here we are ready for this, for the thing. It's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be a wild time. I'm excited about it. It's my first time in Chicago. Never been. It's gonna be good. Maybe his hips are too big too. To be more specific, what keeps you going? There are times when I wanted to give up and I lost inspiration over time. Oof. Well, that's a tough question, American Horror Story. I guess, I don't know. For me, art is the thing. I'm not really. It's an overall passion for what it is. When I was not too long, well, it's been about 12, 15 years ago. I had an experience, I guess, a crisis of faith, if you will, in my abilities, and I was not sure if I was going to be able to get into comics at all. I just talked about this last night on Periscope. I never thought in a million years that I would say that I've had a chance to work with DC. I've done some storyboard art for Marvel Entertainment on the Hulk cartoon. I've done style guide work for Marvel. I've done a cover for Archie Comics. I'm doing another cover now. Um, Never thought I'd do any of those things, and you know, I guess it boils down to what you're about, right? Because I love art, and it is for me my therapy. So even if I wasn't being paid for it, I'd do it. But if I wasn't being paid for it, I wouldn't do what everybody asked me to do. I'll do only what I love to do. But So I did have a crisis because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get in, and I decided I was going to stop. I had other thoughts that I might get more involved in church ministry, um, which I'm glad I didn't, because that's not really what my cup of tea is. After all, it's not really what I was wired to do. So it kind of just comes down to what are you wired to do, and what do you love to do. And if it's something you love, then you pursue it. You won't think of it as giving up on it. If it's just because you have it could be that you had some bad experiences. I mean, I'm switching I mean, possibly switching some things in my life to where, you know, I enjoy what I do now, but not enough. Not enough to really keep doing it, even for the money. So, you know, um, I don't know. That's a tough question because it boils down to what makes you tick, right? So, like I said, I'd be drawing regardless. But I can see what you mean, and so what gets me going is okay. I want to do it, and I'm starting to get to the point also where I'm just saying, you know what? I've decided to do it. I'm just making up my mind to go after this. So that's a big part of it as well. Um, so what do you guys think about that pose for Spider-Man? It's a little stiff, huh? Trying to think what's another way I can do this. Well, for now, let me go ahead and start with at least with Deadpool. Maybe there's a dynamic in the way that they're interacting with each other. So Deadpool is like Daffy Duck. He's all about the silliness. Give him a couple eyes like this. It's supposed to be stiff. He's getting a big. It's true. You're right. You're right. You're right. But I like to make sure that I've exploited every angle, and did I do everything I can to make sure that I got the right acting. So yeah, I hear you. I hear you. That's how I would normally think, but I have to ask myself that question every time to make sure that I'm doing it the right way. This is my Twitch coach. Hold on. What's up, brother? Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Yes. Yep. Gotcha. Channel videos. Okay. 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 Boom. Okay. Yes. Gotcha. That's a great idea. Uh-huh. Dashboard, span. I don't see it on the bar. So, wait, let me save changes. Sorry, guys, I'm just updating my Twitch stuff so you guys can get better experience from this whole thing. All right, so look. Yeah, no, I seen it before. I just, for some reason, I don't see it now. Hold on, should I just hit on Twitter? No. Got profile, following. It's not a profile? Oh, you know what? I gotta go back to my channel. Hold on. How do I do that anyway? Is it profiles and videos? Is it... Yeah, I am. You know what? I'll just go. I'll just back out. I'll just back out. Hold on. I'm back. So you guys are asking questions. I'm sorry. I'll be right with you. Okay. Yes. Little arrow. Yep. Uh-huh. Right. Okay. Yes. Uh-huh. You want to be a moderator? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to do it anytime. See no evil. 7, 8. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay, that'd be awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it so much, brother. Thanks so much, man. All right, brother. Later. All right, that's my coach. That's See No Evil. He's my coach. He's helping me out, get myself squared away. Please, you know, give him some love when you guys see him. So I just moved around my profile a lot, so I just lost all the communication in the chat. If you guys want to ask that question that I may have missed again, please just put it there, and I'll do the best I can to answer it. Okay? I want to make sure you guys have fun while I'm here. So I'm kind of playing around with Deadpool here. He's adjusted the size of his head so I can get a little better. Why do you use red for the sketch? I use red because it's actually a you know how some comic artists use blue line for their stuff. I like doing it this way because and then I can kind of go in and when I ink it, the black will pop more on other colors than it will on graphite. Because graphite can be sometimes really dark and almost as dark as the black. So what you end up with is a kind of a end up with kind of like a competing tones or they're almost too close to each other. So it's either going to be blue, like when I draw with the pencil, I draw with either indigo blue or Tuscan red. So All right. All right. Yeah. Please, and let me know you guys are here. I see I got 24 people, I think, watching this right now. I'd love to interact with all of you. At least say hi, and then I can, whatever, and answer your questions or whatever it is that you want to do. Or if you're just having a good time, just chilling, then by all means, pick up a chair, sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Oh, all right, right on, Todd. All right, thanks for that message, by the way. I really appreciate that, man. I really do. That was awesome. Non-copied blue pencil for my pre-ink illustrations. Love how the inks pop on the blue red too sometimes. Yeah, it's definitely a slow hand zen with the ducks. Gotcha, gotcha. So yeah, it's definitely the function is so that it pops. So I'll show you right now. I'll probably lower the opacity of this later, and I'm gonna create a separate layer. Grab my inking tool, switch to black ink, and so something like this. You see how it has a nice pop to it. And I just stopped by to say I'm loving my Batman Soups commission. Coming out way better than I could ever imagine. Oh, right on, man! I'm glad you're enjoying it, dude. It's awesome. Did you see it when I posted it up here earlier? Let me show you again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Just because I can. What in the world? I'm the wrong window. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited about it. Yes, Mr. McComb. Yeah, it's definitely to get that to create contrast, to make the inks pop better on that. Oops, the wrong one. I'm doing it wrong again. There we go. That's not it. Oh, I messed up my thing. There we go. Boom, shakalaka. Jump back and smack somebody. All right, bring that back. Very good. So yeah, unfortunately, this is a very small file. I should have left it a little larger. So I am going to do something real quick while we're at it, since I'm just sketching right now. I'm going to go ahead and image size this up to at least 11. Well, I'll make it 17. Okay. And then I'm going to edit canvas size and make it 11 wide. Proceed. That way I can as I'm drawing it a little bit larger, and so my inking won't be so weird. So I have it at 300 dpi right now, which is not a bad relationship. So I want to keep that. All right, so I'm going to go back to my animated pencil from Kyle Webster. Go check him out on Gumroad. He's got a tremendous set of brushes. It's good. Can't wait to see you in Chicago. Right on, man. It's going to be good. Thank you very much, Deadpool. I appreciate that. Was the Planet Hulk a commission or a production cover? Planet Hulk. Which one's that? You mean... Oh, yeah. That was a commission. That was a commission. That one got a little carried away, too. That was... let me help you with that. So can you see that? Oops. I like this one. This one came out really good. It's funky, um, but sometimes funky's good. All right. Anyway, so yeah, that's going to Chicago. No, that's not going to Chicago. That's going to go to New York Comic Con. God willing. All right, so I picked an interesting little pose for Deadpool. I want to go back into this here and continue to draw. So I'm planning to have him holding up the pants. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I haven't been, I, I I had a great review, a portfolio review in at New York last year, and I'm trying to get back. Um, to doing some of the samples that I was asked to do, but I didn't get to it. So, that's one of the things I have to tackle sooner than later. I'm really making an effort for that. I have so much going on right now, and I thought I'd be able to handle more of it over the last couple of weeks, but there's been a lot of construction here at the Fernandez home, getting my office put together, and some other things. So anyway, I like one of the things I like about Deadpool is that he kind of reminds me of like a Looney Tunes character. So um, I enjoy that aspect of him for sure. Deadpool actually is a little perverted. Do you keep each character on a separate layer, or just in case you need to alter one or the other? I used to. I used to think that. I used to try that, but I think that I prefer not to necessarily, because I mean that's a good strategy. Definitely a good strategy. I'm not that. I had a good friend a while back. He used to tell me just don't worry about that. If you have to erase it, because he was more concerned about happy accidents. Um, and what do you call it? So it was really cool to kind of, you know, get that kind of thing going. And his whole point was if you get too careful, then you miss those opportunities for some fun or whatever. But so yeah, maybe what I'll do here is. So it doesn't look like such a perv. The only problem is Spidey looks a little feminine. But he is getting a wedgie. I mean, not that that makes you feminine, but it's an uncomfortable situation for the Spidey man. Cool. Yeah, it's going out okay. So what I'll probably do is I'm probably going to enlarge this slightly as well, so I can get a little more volume on my page here. Alright, so Deadpool is taking advantage of poor Parker. And does Deadpool know who Peter Parker is? I don't know. So yeah, so let's so I'm gonna put his, he's got boxers on underneath. Or if I wanted to be mean, I could put him in one of Mary Jane's undergarments on nudge symbols. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I whispering? I do tend to drop in volume. I'll do my best to keep it up, because when I get kind of caught up in the art, sometimes I'll just fade off and, you'd wonder if I was still breathing, but I'll try not to die here on Twitch. All right. maybe what I could do here is throw a little more action here in Parker's leg. Okay, before I do that, I'm gonna copy this. That way I can always come back to it. So I just copied my layer, make some adjustments. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. All right, cool. So the audio's fine. Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this thing where maybe he's got like one knee is higher, so I can give him like a maybe a little bit of a pointed toe, like he's like he really got the wedgie, man. Really something fierce. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but and then kind of like raise his leg up a little more than it is. Yeah, it hurts. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ah. So Kevin Hart. That's my Kevin Hart impersonation. Gets. The one that is for Chicago that I did was a commission. What was the commission I did for Chicago? It was the. Oh, yeah. Nope, that's not it either. I swear. That's not it. I don't think I've done one for Chicago cover. I thought I had, but this is I'm bringing this cover to Chicago, or if I can sell it sooner than that, I will. Like that one? Is that okay? More or less. Man. We'll see. Let's see. So back to this. So you guys kind of see where I'm going with all this. I'm trying to get his leg higher. I want it to look still like animated. I don't want it to lose the fun. Gotcha. Well, thanks for hanging out, man. I really appreciate it. What time is it here now? It's 11:54. All right, it's only 12 o'clock here. So anyway. All right, so that's kind of now. The only thing about his foot is just a little funky, right? What do you pre-draw covers go for? I don't necessarily charge any less or more for them. A cover, I do covers for about $100, and that's kind of where that goes. Hold on. I don't mean to ignore you. I'm just trying to show you the artboard. The artboard. What do you mean? That's funny. My big head, big watermelon head. Right on, man. I try to keep it. I don't do color. That was a special thing for a couple of customers there. That something I wanted to throw in there, but normally I try to keep it minimal. So it's at least inked. Okay, so something like this is kind of cool. I kind of have his foot. It's kind of doing a weird thing. Okay, you see it now. Okay, good. So Spidey's got the nice foot planted here on his right foot, and then his left foot is doing the little, I gotta go pee-pee dance. That's cool. I might throw in a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay, so now he's getting some gnarly pull happening there. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit and try to figure out more about what Deadpool's really about in this image. Let's see, am I drawing enough tension in his arms? Does he have enough force or to pull, what he's doing there? So just want to make sure that I'm giving the viewer the full story. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I love drawing on this Cintiq. It's so cool. I wasn't sure at first, but now that I do a lot of work on it for other stuff, I'm very happy with it as a tool. It's a lot of legs going on here. So something happened when I reconfigured my canvas size here. I actually ruined my original idea, so I have to kind of adjust Deadpool's leg to accommodate the space now, which may be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It just depends on where I end up. All right, I kind of like that. And Deadpool wears more like boots, right? So I'm just gonna give him some boots here. I'm gonna have to reduce the size of this a little bit so I can make sure he fits in my live area. Spidey isn't quite complete either. I have to finish this one on there too. Oops. You can't draw multiple layers, Elliot. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. So what do you guys think about, when you guys look at artwork, what are the things that you like about artwork? What's your favorite subject, or is it your favorite? Like, what do you look for in the kind of art that you like? Because I know that all you guys don't all like the same stuff. So, what do you enjoy? Do you enjoy, and then why do you enjoy it? Is it like a Jim Lee thing, where you get a lot of that kind of look in there? And what is it about Jim Lee that you like? Do you ever make prints in poster size? I love this. I need it. Well, I guess if this works out pretty good. This wasn't supposed to be a real concept, but I may go ahead and print it and learn my 17. I was going to do a separate Deadpool thing. Does it feel like I focus a lot on lightweight with my drawings? Okay. King Grim likes the inks. Okay, okay. Comic art is amazing. All right, all right. Lightweight in style. What kind of style, Deadpool? Like, what is it? What style is what's your style? What's your favorite style? Like, who are your favorite artists? How about that? Let's start with that. Who do you guys like? King Grim. Who's your favorite guy? And you say you like inks. So who's your favorite inker? And why? Do you know why? Sometimes I enjoy it because I see different ways of how people draw, and I like to draw myself, and it always brings a smile on my face. Right on, that's cool. That's cool. Realistic muscles, lots of lines and details, but really clean. Like Jim Lee. Funny thing is, like Deadpool has. Yeah, gotcha. Sean Thomas at the top of my head for all the motion. Yeah, he's great. Like, how would he have handled this image, right? That's fun. You know, this is almost like a sight gag kind of thing. It's not quite as dynamic as say a LeSean Thomas. I got you. You hate Rob Liefeld. You know, I used to think so too, man. But you know what? As time has gone by, I have really learned to appreciate that guy. I was just having a conversation about that at a comic shop the other day. I know Art Thibert, Super Clean Style. Yeah, you know who I love? Ink-wise, I'll get back to the Rob Liefeld hate party in a second, but I love Tom Palmer, and I love Dan Green on Mark Silvestri was awesome. I loved that guy. He was great on him. Joe Sinnott is really good. His proportions are terrible. You know what though? What I love about him is that about Rob Liefeld is that he reminds me of a time when I was excited about comic books. Like unlike today, there's a lot of great art today. Like the whole comic movement has been elevated, whether it's because of the stories that we're reading or because of whatever. It's really good. But I will say that I'm not as excited about comics like I used to be. Like I remember, yeah, Joe Madureira. Joe Madureira gets me excited. Like when I see his work, I'm like, wow, that's sick. That looks awesome. I love the way he drew whatever. He can draw anything, and I'll be stoked about it. But sometimes I just don't know if I don't. There's some artists I love, and then there's some that blow me away, but very few. Not like in those days. And I think it's because it was a part of the time. You know, Image Comics came out and it was very different. And so when Liefeld was drawing his thing and Jim Lee was drawing his thing, it was so unique, and they brought such a great flavor to the community. But today, there's so many clones of those guys. Even myself, I think I'm kind of a Jim Lee clone, my own way. My bigger influences were John Buscema and Neil Adams and some of those guys. And then more side by side. What? Me and what? Joe Madureira or Rob Liefeld? Or Jim Lee? Not Jim Lee. Jim Lee is the Master Blaster. Tradd Moore. That's the guy that does. Did he do? What does he do? Tradd Moore. Help me out with that. Anyway, me and Matt? What? That's crazy. Thanks, man. That's very kind of you, man. Those are very kind, generous words. So yeah, I'm taking advantage here. Wow, man, that's very cool, dude. Yeah, he's great. He's not an ultra great storyteller, but do you care when you see Joe Madureira drawing? Tonight I was referencing the art of Darksiders, and it's not all him, but he could tell he had a very strong hand over that game. And there's another artist on that game was this guy named Paul Richards. He's incredible. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to go real quick here. I'm gonna create a new window for myself so I can kind of look up. I don't have off the top of my head a perfect reference for Deadpool. So how many of you guys saw the movie? Hey, but you know what's cool about Battle Chasers though? Deadpool 52? That he just had that Kickstarter, and that Kickstarter continues the story from the game, from the comic in the game. And that game's gonna be awesome. That's like Final Fantasy meets Joe Madureira. So I'm looking for Deadpool reference so I can get his costume right. I can get his mask right, but he has that funky costume. It's got all the weird angles. I don't know where it's at. I don't know if it's how far along. I know I did contribute to it. Yeah, I'm not a really big Deadpool guy, so I haven't seen it, and I'll wait till it comes out on DVD or whatever, or Netflix. I'm more interested in guys like, I loved Daredevil, was awesome. that show on Netflix was sick. Sick, sick, sick. And I can't wait for the new show. You got Elektra, you got Punisher. Oh. Oh! So good. So good. Yeah, Deadpool is not for kids. I heard that too. My son wanted to see it because all his friends were seeing it. I was like, nah, buddy. We're gonna pass on that this time. Leave that one alone. My son just he's 12. He just picked up a Xbox One for him. He collected all his money for his birthday, and we added up a little difference in there to help him out. And he's super stoked. I don't have a next gen system yet, but that Xbox is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, man. I don't know what it is. They hit me hard right in the face in that Deadpool. I'm sorry, Daredevil show. You know, I even liked Jessica Jones. At first I wasn't so happy about it. The girl's just kind of annoying. That's pretty much where I land on that. She wasn't I wasn't crazy about it. I liked Luke Cage though. Have I ever done concept art for games? I have actually. A little bit. I've actually done some concept art for film. Got a couple movies actually coming out next year that I've done some stuff for, but I can't really talk about it yet. But if you guys stick around long enough, you'll hear some more. I went to Zootopia showing in NYC, and there was a bunch of people in fursuits running around being creepy. My thoughts on that? I'd just say that I think you're right. It's a little creepy because that's it just ain't right, man. It ain't right. That's funny. That's funny. How was the movie? Was it good? I really want to see it. The animation looks delicious. I can't wait to check that out. All right, so Deadpool has. What does he have? He's got some. It depends on the costume you go with here, right? I think I'm gonna go with the. Okay. I don't know what to do here. What's the other comic we're going to talk about? So, have you done any concept art for video games, Deadpool? Just thinking about his answer right now. Alright, so far I see some cool stuff here. I'm liking what I'm doing. And a couple more sweat beads off of Spidey. I'm gonna go ahead and put it. Well, no, I'm not gonna do that. I might give him the costume from the movie, perhaps. Draw his swords in here. See what I did there? I drew it small so I didn't have to worry too. I can do a quick stroke with my hand. I have not, but I did win a design contest in 2007 for a skin design on Warhawk on PS3. Very good, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. What do you guys do? What's your discipline? So you all artists? Are some of you doing other things? What do you got going on? Yeah, J. Scott is the Mac. I buy his books when I do the New York show every year, and I spend a lot of money on him, man. I tell you what, but I can't help it, man. His stuff is so great. He's one guy that excites me. Like when I see his work, it feels like the Image days. You're an accounting student? Oh, congratulations on that. Multimedia designer, freelance illustrator, 3D animator. Very cool. Very cool. Sketches, Listen, Inky, and Stream on here. Oh, very good, man. I should go check you out sometime, man. I'll do that. Do that. So, all right. So I got some people watching me paying attention to what I'm doing wrong. I see it. I see it. I build PCs. That's right. That's right. A regular job. Okay. I art too. Dropping out of art school. Health reasons. Number 2. Art's the world. All right. When Bunny. Ha. First of all, can I just tell you that name is awesome? That makes me happy. Okay, so far, we got a very interesting scenario here between Spidey and Deadpool. Deadpool's having way too much fun. Does it look like a wedgie to you guys? Making sure. So I'm going to erase some of this out so it doesn't have too much of that like there. Okay, Deadpool also has like these little gauntlet things with his arms. I think he also seems to have, he's got straps, all kinds of stuff on him. Let's see, what's this guy? So he's got the, okay. Does this go down here? Okay, it does. Black. Alright, alright. I think it looks as if he's pulling a suit and not so much his undies. So how do I do that better? Good call, good call. So what's the solution to that? Maybe he's got a handle on these here, like this. Maybe it's as simple as that. Maybe I'll bring maybe he's got the band. He's got a little Fruit of the Loom label. That's the worst kind of wedgie, man. He pulled it up and over to the side. Unless he's opening them up. Maybe he's checking to his diaper. Maybe that's what Deadpool's doing. I don't know. That's ridiculous. So I gotta kind of throw in the costume with a little disheveled now, because think about how many times Spidey has to get this thing on right. Gotta be both ends right. Thanks for that advice, John. Really appreciate it. And also, strong is awesome and hilarious at the same time. Just like that. Right on, man. Cool. So Spidey is uncomfortable. At least, if I haven't been able to communicate the wedgie, at least we know Spidey's uncomfortable. So that's good. And Deadpool's like, did you potty? Spidey potty? I have a goddaughter, and all of a sudden everybody's talking like babies in the house. That's funny. Okay, so Spidey. So I'm going to do something a little different with Spidey. I want to kind of exaggerate a couple of things if I can. What was the artist's name y'all were talking about? We talked about a few. You mean J. Scott Campbell? It's fantastic. Alright, I'm going to give him his belt. The famous Deadpool eyes. Some pouches. Yikes. Joe Madureira was another one, that's right. Jim Lee, we talked about him. Boris, wow. I can't do Boris, man. I thought I could when I was younger, but I prefer Frazetta. But Boris is a great technician. He's a little stiff for me. But then again, I'm stiff too, so go figure. Go figure. I don't. Who the hell am I? Who's the wombat? Alright, so who did this? And here's what I'm going to do here. You guys tell me. You guys tell me what you think about this idea. I'm so stupid. Is Spidey poo poo? That's it. Let's do this up, man. Let's do it really good. Let's do it really good. Let's go for it. This would be an awesome print, man. Awesome. Good. Yeah, this is good times. Oh, Deadpool's just like, yeah, what's going on down here? Oh, man. Question. Yeah. Poo poo? How's that work? Yeah, that's funny. Are you poo poo, Spidey? I don't know why. That killed me. That's good. That's good stuff. See what I mean by digital? You can do it. Once you've drawn it, you can change it and move it around. It's fun times. I like this because it gives them a little bit of like a more. There's more stuff to put in there, and you know, it's silly, of course, but hey, why not? If you can't be silly with Deadpool, then who can you be silly with? Anyway. This is definitely fine. Right on, man. Cool. Thanks. Spidey's like, gosh, why? What are you doing? Let's see. Let's see. I got the Spidey gloves. I got. I'm gonna do the newer version that they've been doing, like on Disney XD. That costume doesn't have the band on the off the bicep or whatever. Is that how it is? Does it come out to a triangle shape? I think it does. Yeah, same with me, man. I do the same thing. I started full projects like that, where I do the whole sketch on the note, or Samsung. What is it? It's not Samsung. It's what do we use, guys? Sketchbook. That's what I use. So Deadpool's he's gonna have some. What are all those things he's got? He's got like pouches everywhere. He's definitely a product of the 90s. Spidey's go all. Alright, so maybe I will. Include the band. I'll separate him a little bit more from from Deadpool. So this foot's weird because it's really big compared to that one. So I'm gonna knock down some of that footage. Footage. So anybody see the Oscars last night? Color Good Spidey boxers with Deadpool logo. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so let's throw that in there. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be really fun. Let's see. All right. I think it's time to add a little detail. What do you guys think? Right, now we can start inking it. What else? What else does Deadpool have? Does he have anything special? Does he have like little elbow pad things? Let's give him elbow pads. There's no hard and fast rule for Deadpool, I don't think. I got the belt buckle. That's the main thing. All right. So yeah, guys, if you guys are watching, please follow me so you guys can get the benefit of getting here first when I start posting stuff. If you feel so inclined, I would appreciate it if you guys would share, post, whatever. I'm still learning what the terminology is, so forgive me if I say it wrong. And follow me on Twitter too while you're at it, so we can stay in touch. Yeah, I'm excited too. So, what do you guys think? Should I go ahead and start knocking out some of the details for it? I feel like I should, huh? Okay. At least I'm going to do the lines, and they might go. Okay. Sorry about that nonsense. Technical difficulties, apparently. So when I do the lines on Spidey, I try to let the lines. Okay, very cool, Deadpool. That's awesome. That's awesome. I try to follow the contour of the muscles. That way, it's easier for me to remember where the lines go. If you do it just anywhere, that's cool too, actually. Who's your favorite? Yeah, my Twitter is with the E. You got it, man. I'm grateful you guys are hanging out with me. I mean, it could be lonely. You guys are sticking in with me there. I appreciate it. Alright, so there's that. What I gotta get good at is talking and drawing. I gotta get better at making sure that I finish the work, whatever that is. So I don't, because I want to, when I do these, I definitely want to make our conversations part of it. That's really the goal, right? This is for me. Engaging. There's a ton of love on Twitter from the creative Twitchers. Say that again? What do you mean by that, King Grim? Oh, I get you. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I follow you now. Sorry, I got lost there for a second. sometimes the names of all these platforms come together, especially when you have two of them that have a T in the front. I have a tendency to forget one over the other. It's a shame. So what do you guys think so far about the detail in Spidey? That's pretty cool stuff, right? We're gonna go ahead and when I actually do the inking part of it, this will be a little more precise. I don't know if there's too many social media. I like it. I have a good time. One of the things I love doing is trying to decipher what each social media outlet or platform is for. Like every one of them has a different voice. Twitter has a voice. Facebook has its voice. So it's kind of cool. Awesome. So it kind of adds. It does give a good authenticity to the Spidey. That's what I'm looking for. Is something that. Yeah, man, that'd be great if you guys can help me with that. If you can host, that'd be sick. And I appreciate it. Any support you guys go my way, I appreciate. So. Look forward to returning the favor along the way. Alright, so now I'm throwing in some shading. Spidey is very, very uncomfortable. Where am I from? Originally, I'm from New York City. My parents are from Puerto Rico. Yes, they do have different flavors, different personalities, different looks, different approach to the reason why they're there. Yeah, I grew up in the Bronx, and I moved here in 1987. That's when my 13th or 14th birthday here is the first day. And then, what do you call it? And I joined the Army in '91, and I got out when the getting was good, and went to work for VF, or rather Aetna Health Plans. I was working for an insurance company, and then I met my wife. And from there, we adopted our 2 children, and just kind of went that way. So the trick to this stuff is, for me, it's going to be challenging, is drawing these things more cleaner, because the tendency I have is to just go fly through it. And that's not a good thing to do. So, but I don't always want to draw every single line over and over again, but just hinting at it right now helps. Yeah, I worked at Aetna Health Plans here in Tampa. That's where I met Tara, my wife, and what do you call it? I worked in the mailroom. This is years ago. Then from there, I went to work for this place called Public Imagery, which is not there anymore. And we used to sculpt 3D art and cast it in resin and stuff, and silicone, and mess with all that stuff. It was good stuff. It was a good time. After that, I got the job at VF Imagewear as an art director, and I've been doing T-shirts all along. And it's paid the bills. I'm excited for that. Let me fix that real quick. I'm supposed to relay like that. I think I was just trying to do too much here with this hand. It wasn't quite the right angle, so I'm paying for it now. Wow, is that your day job, John? That's killer, man. Well, it is a small world. Dude, you and I have a lot. I told you, it wasn't an accident, man. It was not an accident. That is for sure. We were good friends with a gal who used to be a trainer there. Her name was, one of my wife's good friends, Tabitha. What's her husband's name? Julio, Tabitha. I forget the last name. What? What? Ah, that's why I hear such maturity in your dialogue about things. That's cool, man. Right on. So yeah, do you know Tabitha? So, you learn to draw certain gestures. I can't draw a ton of poses for my characters. How do I do that? Okay, well, believe it or not, it came from animation. I pay a lot of attention to cartoons and how certain cartoons, especially Japanese animation, they're classic for exaggerating the form. And if you pay close enough attention to what they do, you can kind of figure out the patterns. And that's really all this is about, is patterns. They're looking for how anyone would do anything. And, everyone does everything the same, no matter what they say. Problem is deciphering the pattern so you can incorporate it in your work. But all the principles are universal. I believe that sincerely. The very thing that makes a surgeon a great surgeon is what makes an artist a great artist, a baker a great baker, a painter a great painter, a dancer a great dancer. It's the stuff that you can't see, but it's all the same kind of principles of hard work, blah blah blah. So 10,000 hours, I'm all about that. John, I'm still reeling from that revelation. I was going to ask you what you did, and now I'm pretty. Yeah, I worked there back in. Well, I've been working for VIA for almost 20 years, so I guess you weren't. I wasn't there when you were there. But it's looking pretty good. Pretty excited about this drawing, guys. It's funky, but hey, why not? I'm drawing little knee pad things to go along with this more of this Rob Liefeld straps. I don't have any problem with these construction lines. Any tips? Yes, I would say. By the way, thank you for asking that way. I love when people ask specific questions. If you have a specific, when people say, "Hey, I'm a young artist. Do you have any tips?" That's so broad. You're better off asking a more specific question. Anyway, to answer your question, sorry for that. I would say get yourself some action figures. I know that Marvel Legends are a good set. There's certain ones that have great articulation, or you can get something called Microman. It used to be part of something called the Micronauts. And that's also a good tool. They make them; they're superposable. And what I would do is kind of how I was approaching this here. You want to go with the. I recommend when I teach, whenever I do teach, it's I don't teach much anymore, but whenever I do, I use the How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way method, which is cylinders and so yeah, I would get that book. That's a good one to start with, and don't let people tell you that, oh, that's lame, blah blah blah. I had a friend who mocked that, and I think that was disappointing to me, because at the end of the day, they're just like I said, they're principles. They're just to help you get ideas across faster. Anyway, I really like this drawing. You see what happened? See what happened, John? You sent me a link, and guess what happened? It's not there. So please PM me. We're heading out. great hanging out with you. Great job on this piece too. Right on, man. Thank you. Have I read any books? No, I have not read any books. Not yet. Yeah, thank you so much, King Grim. I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you. You should tell your friends. Little seamless blood. Never hurt nobody. Never hurt nobody. Yeah, so this black stuff's gonna be Google Black. Another favorite artist of mine is Chris Samnee. I love his minimal use of stuff. Damn, that looks really nice. Myself a digital tablet. Yeah, once you start figuring out how to use the tools, it really helps to just keep cranking, and it feels very natural. It doesn't feel like you're drawing. I mean, sometimes I get a little bit of a lag depending on how my machine's operating, but right now it's going very, very well. Let's see. I'm going to go give him a little strap on his bicep like in a movie. Alright. Give him his gauntlet here too. So that'll give me a reason to darken that up a little bit. Alright. Huh. Yes, G.I. Joes are good. They are really good. Complete Guide to Figure Drawing for Comics and Graphic Novels. Which one is that? Aphrodite. Aphrodite. Okay, so now I think I'm ready to start inking this guy. This is definitely longer than an hour and a half now, right? Oh, I didn't finish. Okay, so now I turn off my underdrawing for that, and I'm going to lower the opacity of this guy. Now I'm going to begin inking. Now there's a couple things I can do. I can either ink it digitally, or I can print it out on Bristol board and ink it traditionally. I'm thinking I want to try to do it digitally because it's a little more efficient. I've got a lot of work to do. Let's see. Alright, thick and thin. Bum, bum, bum. Daniel Cooney, huh? I'd like to, if you could send me a DM, that'd be awesome. So I can go look that up. I'm always happy to find another book that's good, you know. Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy the book? How is it drawing digitally different than traditional pen and paper for you, Warner? Well, there's definitely one is cleaner than the other. That's one thing. But there are some pros and cons. Like what I'm doing right here. Again, if I'm not careful, I can put too much information in because I can zoom in so far. So, you know, that's the danger of the digital tools. You have a lot more access to full-size art. On the other hand, the ability to edit is far superior in the digital process, just because you have so many ways to correct what you did, whether it's Command or Control Z, or if you want to just erase something easy. A transform is a great tool. I use it all the time. In fact, I just watched a webinar recently with Robert Valley. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he was an animator on things like Aeon Flux and stuff like that from the early 90s. Anyway, he he did he animates his stuff in Photoshop. He takes the line art, brings it into Photoshop, and then there's a separate way to use Photoshop where you can include like scenes and such. And anyway, long story short, it's a very versatile tool. On the other hand, there's nothing like a great piece of art, original, in your hands, but I find that I can't afford those myself either. I'm always impressed that many people buy my work because money isn't easy to come by, I should say, anymore. So, but as long as there's a demand, I'll do my best to supply. Switching back and forth with white so I can kind of create a sharper edge in here. And I'm going to do the little trick I've been doing when I draw Spidey. I have a little style I do to the eyelets that are a little different, nothing major, but I enjoy doing it, and I think it does kind of set me apart a little bit. Also in digital, you get a little bit different look with the tools, so it doesn't always come out. I mean, there's some great happy accents that happen digitally, I think I taught myself to ink on the computer, believe it or not. This is such a versatile tool. I can learn things, like how things are supposed to work. Thanks, man. Thank you, John. I appreciate it, man. Hey, Domino, how are you? I'm actually trying to zoom in on my traditional drawings these days. Yeah, I always look for Command Z and I'm inking. But then there's something very therapeutic and gratifying about inking traditionally too. I don't know. I feel, even though I'm not, I guess I shouldn't say this because it doesn't matter if you can do it, and you are, right? If you can ink, then you're an inker. But anyway, I feel like I'm part of a fraternity, with all these famous guys behind me. But I'm just way too nervous. Oh, why would you be nervous? It's just another tool. Listen, digital tools are just that, a tool. You're just trying to use a different format. And my problem here is I feel like I can really waste a lot of time if Photoshop, if you're not more proficient enough, you can easily fall into traps where you're drawing something 2 or 3 times, like I'm doing here with these lines. I don't want to keep overdoing it. So a way to do that is when you go like a digital ruler. See, that's a mistake. I think that's a mistake again. That's still too much. All right. That's kind of cool. If you want to draw lines more precisely and a little less effort than I'm doing here, one of the things you can do is you can go into your path palette, and I'm going to hit the pen tool, what have you. Let's just do a quick little thing here. I can click here, create the shape that I want to ink. Almost like if you're needing the French curves, it's like creating that kind of deal. And then you take your brush tool. How do I do this? So I'm going to go smaller with my brush. Right now it's 20. Go 2. Stroke it. right there. So anyway, then when you're done with that, you can always go back and clean it up. So let's say I want to just add a few more lines to beef up that line, make it look more thick and thin. The thick and thin is really what is the appealing part of inking, is you get that nice look. Right, so like I might use the path tool for the lines, for example. So I want the overall contour to be organic too. So I think that gives me a better line in general. You can see here that worked out pretty well. This is how I ink my work over on Harley Quinn Power Girl when I was doing that. But I was using an Intuos tablet instead. But you know, whatever works. I decided that the Cintiq was the way to go after that experience, though, because it was hard. It's doable. It's not impossible. It's just very difficult. There's something about a Cintiq where you can kind of get key into a spot a little tighter in some ways than you could with a tablet. It depends on how lively I want that line. That's what will determine which tool I use. Either the straight edge path tool. If I was doing it in the traditional sense, I might be considering using something like, when you do this, you go to layers, and if you want to paint white back in, but you don't want to cover all the stuff up with white, you just turn this on multiply, and your white will disappear. Just a little trick. Little trick I learned now. You use an Android tablet and it's tight on the room. What do you mean by that? Wind bunny hop? Okay. Sorry, I'm see what happens? I start to go off. Small screen. I want to try the new Apple Pro. The Apple Pro is cool, man. I'm a little bit of an Apple hater. I own an Apple, but that's what I work on. That's what this is attached to. I don't know, I get angry with Apple, but overall, that product looks really good. The only thing I would say though is that if it doesn't have a real version of Photoshop, I think that's the only downside to that tool, because it looks like it works great for what it can be used for. I just wonder, can I really do what I need to do? Like something as simple, like I have Photoshop Express on my Android, and that's so deceiving when you're a Photoshop user. You get Photoshop Express, you're thinking, oh, maybe it's just limited some of the other things, but it's not very good. I would say Sketchbook Pro is awesome, and on my Android. See, I think I'm going to go organic after all, at least with the outside of the thing. Sketchbook Pro is great. Manga Studio is a great app, and again, those are some apps you can't get on a tablet because the tablet's never going to be powerful enough. That doesn't mean it can never be. It can never be powerful enough. It depends on what's developed. But I will say ultimately that I do appreciate the Apple product, and I think it's a good product. I just don't know, like, can you do precise illustration on a precise size board? Like, if I wanted to do comics, can I do it on there? I do have my fan on. Is that the problem? Because it gets warm in here. I don't have an AC set up yet. It could be that. But it's been on the whole time. Is this a new sound or? If it's driving you guys crazy, I can turn it off. Alright, here's what I don't like about my Spidey. He's got a very fat face. You know what I'm saying? I don't care for that. Is it enough for me just to draw some heavier lines? But this right here. Let's see. I'm going to give him a little more of a muscular face. A little more of a heroic face. That's not better. Okay. Yeah, it gets really warm in here, and I just been yeah, he was chubby. I don't like it. Looks like me. It's not good. So now I'm really bothered by the whole thing. Remember, those lines don't have to be gospel. They could just they could just be a guide. It's okay. So I don't like this here either. I'm gonna rotate. Go here. I'm gonna thin them out this way too. Give them an actual jawline. Hey, I tried commenting last time. I want to know how you managed to do extra work and balance family life. Well, that's an excellent question. It is very difficult, and it's going to get easier for me because I actually do a lot of work at night. That's one of the reasons why I've always Periscope late, and I've always, you guys might sometimes on Instagram notice that I'll post something very, it'll be like 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and I'm posting because I'm still up. And I try to not take any time away from the family. However, when I've got freelance, I gotta try to knock it out at whatever time I have available. That said, like I said, I kind of hinted at it earlier. Some things are changing in my life. Some of it's due to medical concerns, and I'm going to be spending a lot more time at home. So, where did some of my ideas come from? No sleep. Yeah, I've literally gone to work the next day with no sleep at all. It depends on the project. When I was doing the Marvel stuff, I had to try to get that done, and because I needed the money and I wasn't getting paid until I finished the work. So I had to find creative ways to make time for it. I'm an older guy, so it's not very wise to live off of 5-hour energies, but I did that for a while too. When I did the animation stuff, storyboards for the Hulk cartoon, the studio where I work at from time to time, that's a buddy of mine. He's hardcore, man. Sometimes he works late all the time, and by late I mean like he's not even he doesn't sleep at all, or he'd take a quick cat nap or something. And when I was doing that, I spent more time going to the 7-Eleven trying to buy 5-hour energies to stay awake on that project than I actually did the project. So go figure. But you got to make time for it, man. I remember, to answer your question more specifically, I remember when I read an article it was an interview with Mark Bagley. You guys know who he is? He's did most of the issues of Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, back when it was still Peter Parker, not Miles. Anywho, he used to work for think it was Lockheed Martin before he got into comics. And he did basically the same thing. He just worked at night, did as much as he could to get in, and then finally he got the jobs and blah, blah, blah. And the rest is history. Now he's working for Marvel or DC, respectively. But I will say that's a young man's game. You got to be careful. You got to take good care of your body. I haven't been. This is the reason why I'm having trouble now with my health. So you got diabetes is an issue. You got, whatever it is that's ailing you. Just be careful. If you're older, don't waste your time. Or do it smart. That's all. I shouldn't say don't waste your time. It's not a waste of time. I did it, and I survived. But there were a couple of scares. There was one night. I was on a week straight. I'm getting clocked. I got clocked. Can you see me still? I'm back. Yay! I'm back. All right. There was a time when I was working on what was I working on? I think I was working on comic pages or samples or something, and I did. I had been surviving on these 5-hour energies, and I was surviving on coffee, and I was drinking Bustelo coffee, so that's like your hardcore espresso stuff, and I love it, but it's not meant for regular consumption, I guess. And no, I was still up, but it happened to me too. It knocked me out too, so I had to wait for it to kick back on. I told you guys, it's the gremlins. I told you. Fell asleep there, see? So anyway, long story short, I remember I took a 5-hour energy drink, and my body was so messed up that didn't even wake me up. I fell asleep with it, and I never sleep with them. They work for me. And I remember thinking, this is bad news. When your body won't even respond to a stimulant like that, not enough B12 could I take that would wake me up after that. Another terrible story. I was doing samples. You should add a few panels describing what you use to draw on. I'm interested. Do you mean... my bitrate is not high. I think that was just a glitch because I actually lowered it recently. I'll check it out again. Because the comic work I did the comic work on the Cintiq, the stuff I did for DC, and the stuff I did for Marvel. I can show you some of that, I think. Well, of course I can. The issues are already out. But the Marvel stuff I can't show you because it's not out yet. Anyway, I was doing samples for MegaCon in Orlando. And this is when Red Bull first came out, and I saw the commercials, and I was like, oh, maybe that drink will help me. So I stopped at the local gas station. I bought a 4-pack. So I tried out the first one, and tried the first one, and it was a little weird tasting, but I was like, oh, well, it didn't seem to be working very well. So I said, well, I'll take another one. And then I took that one, and I thought, okay, it's just kinda... I'm going to start streaming more often, Press Decals. I'm going to do that way more often, and I'm going to have it on the schedule too. Like right now it's a little late. I really don't want to do it this late, but for the time being, I'm just getting used to this platform, so just taking advantage of the time I do have. Anyway, finally I said, well, it's starting to work a little bit, so maybe I'll have the third Red Bull. I drank the third Red Bull, and then it started to kick in, and it messed me up so bad that I thought, oh, you know what? This tastes great. I'll drink the fourth one. Oh, what a mistake. I couldn't sleep for 48 hours. I was wound. in fact, it actually worked against me because I couldn't even work on the pages, my samples. I was too tired. Rather, not too tired, but my hands were shaking. I couldn't get anything done. So, Clutch Decals, I'm sorry, I didn't. I hope I answered your question or you heard my response. I don't do often. I haven't been, but I just started on Twitch, so I imagine you'll be seeing me more often here. Would that be good? Is that a good thing or? Oh no, trust me, I know now. This was years ago. That was, like I said, when Rebels first came out. Apparently, that was the temple here was a. That's what I meant. Thank you for following because I love stuff like this. And incredible. Well, thank you, man. That's very kind of you guys. Thank you, that comment in particular. Thank you very much. See what I got going on here? This is just a quick way. Whenever you draw Spider-Man's arm, just plan on having three lines and just do this trick. It covers most of the kind of stuff you'll need. I'm sorry, man. I hope it wasn't me. I don't think it was. I mean, I've only just been drawing the whole time, so you know. Somebody mentioned the bit rate. I'm actually have it pretty low, as a matter of fact. It's at 1,000, I think. Okay, good. Okay, so you see what's going on here, guys? How that red, someone asked earlier about the red. This is why I do it, because it gives me a little bit of that nice flare. And it doesn't interfere with the black, so I can see the black ink doing its job without the interference of the red obscuring that, maybe giving a false read. So that's why I do it. This one I'm going to have to change a little bit. Yeah, that's fun. Follow me on Instagram. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. You know, if you guys don't mind sharing and letting people know I'm here, because that's what's going to help me. You know, just to be honest with you guys, I'm probably going to be doing this freelance full time very shortly, and you know, any support like this would be super helpful, so I can try to make a living doing educational videos and demos. That's kind of the goal. That's kind of the goal, among other things. I'm still wanting to do the freelance stuff, but you know what I'm saying. Too close. What do you guys think? Is it coming out pretty good? This might be too long of a video for me, but I'll try to hang in there as much as I can for you guys. Is there a way to financially support you, like commissions? I'm I'm sorry, let me go back to the list. I'm sorry, I got zoned off there. Do you get sick of being called a jerk? Ha ha ha. No, actually, I enjoy it. That is pretty cool. Let me see. Do these videos get recorded and able to see later? Yes. I follow you on Instagram, Jerkmonger. Awesome. Do you get sick of being called jerk? Not at all. Laugh out loud. Are you hired by someone, Monger? I mean, I work for a t-shirt company here in Tampa. I'm an art director and creative director right now. I manage for our business Harley Davidson product, but I am also an illustrator. I've done comic book work and animation. I've done concept art for film, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I do commissions. If you're interested in commission, you can email me. I'm going to put my email here for now, a separate layer, if you guys are interested. Actually, you know what? This is my business one. All right. Can you guys see that? I feel like lazing through a box of microns right now. You are very much an inspiration. Awesome, 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 awesome. I drew some drawing myself, but your artwork is incredible, dude. I follow you on Instagram, and I'll try to post more artwork when I can improve some. Very good, very good. Yeah, you know, when someone said this recently, and I thought it was brilliant. You know, be careful, like how many people you follow and how many people you interact with as far as getting ideas or inspiration for art. Obviously, that puts me in an odd position. Hey, Electro Kittens, greetings to you as well. I tell you what, email me at Elliot@jerkmonger.com, and I'll be happy to send you my price list, so you guys can do that way. I prefer to do that, as a matter of fact. So. Okay, so now, as you can see, this is coming along quite nicely. Just reversing to white so I can go back in and kind of, it's sort of like erasing but more precisely. It's like painting white back over your black. Oh no, don't feel bad. This is what I'm doing this for. Some of what I'm doing this for is to get you know, to get I don't know, whatever, just get some followers and you know, to get feedback, what have you. But some of this is also about, for me, it's about education, and what I mean by that is education for those of you who are interested in learning stuff. I don't want to get the wrong idea. I'm not that noble. I obviously, eventually, I'm going to have a website, and that's going to happen very soon. Starting by Pains below, use the stream where you can add information like your business email. I'm going to do that, guys. The gentleman that was here earlier, See No Evil, he is, I called him my Twitch coach. He's going to help me with all that. I'm very much a noob here, and I don't know how to use all the tools yet. So we're doing that. I just want to get started, you know, because I don't want to let details like that keep me from starting to share it. I mean, if I waited any longer, some of you guys may not have had a chance to encounter me, and maybe you would have gotten some some questions answered. So I'd rather take the hit for that now. But believe me, all that information will be up soon. If you're interested in that sort of thing, then you can contact me for commission lists or commission prices and blah blah blah. To your heart's content, if you so desire. Alright, so This was supposed to be like a just a sketch thing. It's turning into a full-on illustration, which is cool. I'm gonna draw this shoulder a little higher, just so it looks a little more exaggerated. So it looks like a pro did this, huh? Who would have thought? That's what I get excited about when I look at my work and I go, oh, it looks like I'm employing all the right rules. It's doing what I want it to do. It looks like what I intended it to look like. I feel good. Yeah, that didn't work. See, I went bold with that line there. Sometimes you got to get bold. You got to just go that line and see it go where it goes. Oh, I see that you took our suggestions and ran with it. Badass. You have a lot of fans out here. Yeah, I do. He's now hosting for one viewers. Awesome. Thank you, Electro Kittens. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what hosting means exactly. See No Evil told me it was a good thing, so I'm just trusting you guys for now until I learn more about Twitch. I love it here so far. You guys are a much more enthusiastic community, which is good. But I love my guys on Periscope too, so don't worry, I won't abandon everything completely. I just want to figure out where I land and where's the best. Hosting means I am broadcasting from my channel. Oh, that's right. He did say that. Thank you, guys. Hey, how you doing, Lancelot? I think that's Lancelot or Lance Loot. Lance Loot would be funny. Cool, clever name. So what do you think so far? You feel like this is looking like a professional level piece of art, and that's the goal, obviously, is to get this to the point where it looks like something that can be on a cover, something that can be, it has its flaws, but for the most part, it works, and that's all I'm trying to shoot for at this point. I do have a YouTube. I have quite a few videos on there. A lot of them are from Periscope, the recent ones. And what I plan on doing is kind of, I won't go into my strategy right now because I'm not totally sure how that works. But suffice it to say that it's going to make my branding strategy is going to make a lot of sense very soon to a lot of you guys. So, and thank you. That's really cool. The only thing is that this method is very slow. Like it's taking me forever to get this inks complete. So it's one of those things, you have to really decide what you're looking for and is it worth the time you're going to put into it, right? So I'm doing the best I can to move a little quicker, but sometimes you just got to spend a little more energy on it, I'm going to be bold with this line here and just throw it. Just going to throw it. Boom. It's away from the light source. That's where my shadows would be. That's where I'm going to keep it. All right. Switch to white. Back to black. Now, I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of draw in some of my stress lines. The fabric is taut and it's not perfectly on his body right now because Deadpool is doing some stuff. Let's see. And I gotta get to bed. Thanks for all the hard work, bro. I'll definitely be waiting for the finished product. Thanks. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the suggestions and everything. I'll definitely be looking into a commission and eat one of those. Oh, very good. I'm hanging out so bad to get some tea. Yeah, man. That's the, you know, yeah, that's what this is. This is a 13 HD. I love it. I love it. It's the cheapest one that I could get. So, and you know, I am interested in getting a larger one, but I'm also more interested in getting a 13, the companion 2, because I feel like that's going to help me even more. Then I'll be able to take my work portably. So I'll be in C2E2. Maybe if I had to do some work, I could still work on my projects up there. Well, you know, I mean, I get you, but I've worked hard for this stuff. I saved my money, and you know, I heard someone say this the other day too. You know, it takes time to get all the stuff together, and yeah, it's not cheap, and I had to sacrifice quite a few things to get what I thought I needed. You know, that's, you know, they say that a craftsman is only as good as his tools, and if you're not, if you don't take your tools seriously, you know, you got to be careful. Obviously, this stuff is expensive, and you know, but sometimes you got to get to the point and say, okay, am I going to pay for, use the money I have here for an Xbox One or PS4, or do I get, save that money and a couple $100 more I can get a Cintiq. Now, if you guys are really interested and you want something that's comparable, there is something called a Unova that I really recommend. I almost bought it. The only reason why I didn't get it is because I felt like it was going to be a little weird with my setup, and so I decided to go with something more native to what I'm used to, which is the Wacom's products. But theirs is really inexpensive. However, once you're done paying for all the parts, sometimes you end up paying about the same. But Unova, it's I think it's Yinova. I think that's what it is. You can find it on Amazon, and I think you can buy one of those for like $400 or so, or $500. It's really inexpensive. I'm sorry, brushes off. I just say focus too much on brushes. What do you mean? That's so true. Are you talking about for Photoshop or whatever? Help me out. But in the meantime, he's clarifying that for me. I'm just saying that you could get things that are cheaper, and you know, like I use touch markers, and if you go to any con, you see all these guys are all excited about their Copics, and Copics are good markers, man. Don't get me wrong, they're great markers, but I really can't tell the difference between Copics and touch markers, and except for the price. So you know, don't feel like you have to get anything in particular. Like I said, this Cintiq is actually an inexpensive one to me. After I priced the tablet, rather the iPad Pro with the pencil, it runs about the same price, maybe even $100 more, and no Photoshop outside. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, so now. And you, Deadpool, giving him a wedgie. You should enable your past broadcasts. I've only done one last one, and I'm trying to figure out how to get it up there. So this is my second broadcast. So I guess the tools are important. Comment made me think of how some artists get upset that people think that the right brush will fix their lack of talent. It just means that. No. That's so true. I'm just saying be careful, because it's like what I was about to say about the iPad Pro. iPad Pro is great, man. If you want to just draw and sketch, it's excellent. YouTube channel is either Jerkmonger or Elliot Fernandez. I'm pretty sure it's Jerkmonger though. What I'm trying to say is that you are, if you want to get something, just make sure you get the right thing. That's all I'm saying. Get the right tool for the job. I bought these tools from Home Depot, these little cheapy drill bits, and they function the way little cheapy drill bits would function. You get what you pay for. If you want a good tool that is reliable, Wacom's a reliable company. It's been around for a long time. I like their product. I was happy to give them my money. On the other hand, I get mad that they're so expensive because they happen to be the premier product. But that's our fault because we send them our money. So no, and as far as the brushes are concerned, there are good brushes to get. I have really bad number 2s and 3s, and then I have, and what's not the best brushes anymore are those Winsor Newtons that everybody used to have. I like mine. They're pretty good, but I use an Isabey. Oh, it's like inking with butter. If that makes any sense. Or inking with ink. Wait a second. That sounds odd. Anyway, gosh, guys, it's 1:30 already. Oh, look how far away I am. I'm still not even close. Well, this is why I get frustrated. Someone asked me earlier, do I ever think about quitting art? This is when I get frustrated. Like, I still got that much to go. We haven't even touched that yet. I'm also a perfectionist, and that messes up too. It says this is kind of for my Instagram is Terry Blackwell. It's just pretty fun anyway. Okay, I can take a look, but just be aware. If you should know what your stuff looks like. Are you strong? Because what'll end up happening is I hope that you know that one of the reasons why they call me a jerk is because I'm going to give you the truth about your art if you're asking for opinions. No, dumb questions. I'm just, and don't take it the wrong way. I'll be happy to check it out for you. I remember I went to show my work to Ethan Van Sciver, and I appreciate why he said it. It was rude, but I understand why he said it, and I think it's because so often people come and they get disappointed because they what they want to do is they want to show their work, hoping that person's going to love it, and whatever else comes from that. But in actuality, sometimes the work isn't ready. But I can't determine that because I haven't seen it yet. So I'll be happy to look at it. Just hit me up on Instagram and just let me know that we talked about this here, and then do like a direct message or whatever. Another thing I don't like, a pet peeve of mine, just so you guys know, is if you want me to look at your work, I hear when people say, "Come look at my work," and they don't. Their profiles are private. Just so you guys know, I only follow people that have a direct influence on me. I don't even follow some of my friends. So it might come across kind of a jerk again, hence the jerk. But I don't want to put stuff in my feed that doesn't actually inspire me. Good, and like I said last night on Periscope, an important and a really important thing to get better at is self-assessing. What helped me get better more than anything before asking anybody for opinions, again, because I also was looking for someone to just love what I did by osmosis. But I was going to say, just comparing my work. Comparing my work to what's in the marketplace, and then being honest and saying, does this match up with what I see? Because if you want to just learn how to draw better arms and hands, I can help you with that. But you still have to have the overall product be on par with what's out in the marketplace. That's super important. You've got to get honest with yourself about, this is not for you, everybody. I'm just saying in general, and for anyone. Like I said, I haven't seen your work. You're probably going to blow me away, so that's good. That's what I hope for, at least. But yeah, you got to learn how to self-assess, because then from there you can start. You don't need everyone to tell you something all the time. You can just see it and kind of get ahead. Like, okay, this is kind of, yeah, would I buy this? That's what I ask. If you need me to tell you your stuff is good, then you're not sure. When you can look at something and go, hey, this looks sharp, man. Like this piece of art, except for a couple of things here and there, looks good. I can see this on a cover. It's inked well. I'm following some of those rules that I think are important. And guess what? It's working, right? Because I critiqued enough work, even if it's just me and my friends looking at work and just kind of trying to understand. The biggest challenge, though, is also being able to quantify your comments. Right? You see, feel free to ignore dumb questions. That's not a dumb question. It's cool. Things I like some harsh critique. We got it. So if this is only sketch, can you critique that too? So if this is only a sketch, can you critique the sketch too? You can, but it has a different criterion, though. You know, if the sketch is just to this is not a sketch anymore. This was supposed to be a sketch. It's gone into full illustration right now. So then you critique it on its own merits. Is it a good illustration? Is it following the rules of design? Does it have a good balance of black and white? Is everything kind of falling in place? Stuff like that. Sorry, I missed some things. So I must ask, did you like the Unova to buy? I do like the Unova. Good motto. I regularly clear out my list of people who don't inspire me anymore. Yeah, but my problem is I love art. So I find people. I have a lot of people. I'm like, oh, I love this style. Oh, I love that style. And sorry, I missed that something. The Unova is worth buying. Look for it on Amazon. I forgot the name of the company. Just type in Unova 28. It's not as sharp as this, and there's plenty of reviews you can read. It's after reading all the reviews and whatever critiques there were for it, I was willing to take the risk, but I needed to make sure I had something that I can trust, and I trust Wacom products. Now that I have this, if I wanted to buy a second one, then I would give that a spin for sure. And I've heard great commentary on it, by the way. But I also read in a couple of places where people got some that had like some of the pixels were dead, and that bothered me because there was no return policy. But it is much less expensive. I thought at the time that I would spend more money on some of the setup parts. I ended up having to spend that same kind of money on my Cintiq, so it doesn't really matter because I use a Mac. But Unova is really good. Just look it up on Amazon. I think that's where you can. That's one of the few places here in the States you can buy it. And but I think it's a Korean product. Very, very good. There's also something called a Haldane or something like that. It's also good too. Or Huion, that's what it is. It says to get the right tools you preferred. Cintiq, but says the other one is good too. Yes. Thanks, man. All right, good. Dude, I really can't wait to see more on Twitch. Way better. Thank you, I appreciate it. Let's see. Welcome to Twitch, and thanks for sharing wisdom. You got it. Slow hands in. I appreciate it. I can't afford Cintiq. I gotcha. Trying to find some good activity. Check out the Unova. Give it a spin. Tell me what you think. Davies, have you done illustrations for comics and stuff where the editor sends it back because they aren't happy with it? Yep. I sure have. That happened to me on my second to last issue on Harley Quinn Power Girl. So, yes, the short answer is yes, and it sucks because you're thinking, oh, you're good, and then you're not. But you know what? You just stay, be an adult about it, suck it up, drive on, get it done. Um, I've been using Unova 19U for 2 years and I love it. Check it out. There you go. Another great commentary for it. There you go. Like I said, if I needed another one, which depends if my studio grows. And by that I mean I might bring on some other artists with me here as time goes on. But I might consider fitting the studio with a Unova just to do the comparison. But there's a guy I really respect. His name is Fremden. He's got some great brushes, by the way. Can get crushed so easily. Yeah, but you know what, man? You gotta. That's one of those things that I harp on a lot. Is we gotta we as creatives have to be. We have to be stronger about this stuff. We've got to be, because I said this last night. They already think we're just a bunch of pot smokers who just don't want to do any work, and we're just a bunch of prima donnas. That's how they treat us, at least. And the rest of the corporate America doesn't see and appreciate a creative as a professional, which is why I appreciate the term creative professionals. And so one of the things we've got to get better at is growing a thicker skin. If your self-worth is determined by someone's commentary, then yeah, you're gonna. But if you follow what I'm saying as far as like being honest about your work, sincere about your quality, and really going after the thing, perfecting your craft. So many people get into comics or art in general, and they think, oh, it's easy. And I'm like, yeah? Well, why do I charge so much for my artwork? Well, think about this. You're not just paying for a drawing of Batman. You're paying for the hours and the years, and now it's the decades of me, the hundreds and maybe even thousands of drawings that I've done, my experience. Like people, they balk at logo design. Like, you're gonna make money off of my mark. I want my cut. Period. And it is much cheaper. But you know what? Also got to consider, as far as is concerned, the size. Consider your workspace. Like the 13 HD was actually a better size for me. And after I was going to buy the arm and all the cords that I needed and everything else that I needed, it was almost about the same amount of money. So, yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But if you have a simple setup, it's great. It's also brighter, has a different texture in the screen though, but it doesn't bother me at all. Put a comic book on low, minimum wage, and the client still said, I can't just if I spend that much. Well, then they're not serious. You need to know how to draw and draw well. That's the best I could tell you. Well, that's the thing, and that's the thing I'm excited about now, is when people start to realize what this stuff is worth. They change their tune, but it takes a while. It takes a while. The important thing is for you to know your worth. That's why I'm saying it's so important that you are getting better at self-assessing your own work, that you're able to really dial into, hey, this stuff is good. Is it great? Can it be better? Of course it can. But there's a bunch of stuff on the shelves that can be better, and it's already on the shelf. So I'm only telling you guys that because I think sometimes we choke ourselves out with fear. Fear of, what will they say about me? How will they? What will they do? And don't worry about that. Just create the product, and 9 times out of 10, that act of creating will get you where you want to be. I don't know if that helps you guys or not. So yeah, you need to know how to draw, and you can't. That's what I'm saying. I've seen people draw things that, like, it looks like a young kid drew them, And if you're a young kid, that's fine. But if you're an older adult and you're hoping to get published, again, um, compare. Just take one of your drawings and put that drawing up next to a drawing on a shelf. You won't need anyone to tell you this. You can look. Would you buy yours? Would you collect the work of the stuff you're putting out versus the stuff that you know is on the shelf today? I compare myself to guys like Adam Hughes. That's huge. I'm not saying I'm as good as he is, but I'm not saying I'm worse than he is. I will say this. He does a little bit different style of work than I do. But the point is, does my work match up? So to help you out with that even further, look for people who draw in a style that you have a similar look to. And if you don't know what that style is, and everyone has it, then you really have not done a good job of assessing your own work and how close you're coming to being marketable. Because that's the point. You want to be able to create product yeah, that's all this stuff Davies designated. I agree with that. The buyer whipped out a sketch under a minute and asked for $1 million in exchange. The man who requested the drawing refused, of course, saying it only took Picasso 30 seconds to draw this picture. Picasso responded, yes, but it took me 50 years to learn how to draw that in 30 seconds. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. I'm actually trying to quote, I'm paraphrasing that story. So what I'm saying is, when you are able to assess yourself, and that's another thing. Oh, you know what? I'm going to draw comics today. I've never drawn them before. Unless you're a phenom, it's not going to be successful. So don't be surprised if people don't like it. But don't be hurt by that. Let that fuel your desire to get better. Get better. Go out, try new things, work on it. Don't let people tell you you're bad, but at the same time, for crying out loud, don't think that you're the greatest thing since sliced cheese and you can't take a critique. I had for those of you who maybe have never seen my Periscopes, I've told this story before. One of the best compliments I ever got over my portfolio had nothing to do with my portfolio. It was about my attitude while I was being critiqued. It was an editor for DC Comics at the time, and back then, DC had a presence at MegaCon. Marvel did too. So there I was. I'm showing my work. The guy was clearly uncomfortable. He'd been there all day. He sits there, he looks through my stuff, and he starts to say, look, you should really work on this. Yeah, you should probably work on that too. Your anatomy's kind of off here. Blah, 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 blah. And every time he said something, I would say, in response, I would say, really? How can I make it better? What can I do different? What would you do different? And he told me that he had, in the whole time he was doing the show, not one person asked him that question. You see what I'm saying? First, instead of getting defensive, like other guys are like, oh man, you don't even know. Like, it's like when you watch American Idol and those people who clearly cannot sing start threatening, like, one of these days you're gonna rue the day when I become a big star. Like, not with that voice, because you have to sound better than that. This is real life. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be teachable. You want to be moldable, impressionable to some degree. You want to, hey, how do I do that? You're the expert. I just showed up with a portfolio. You've been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years. I just did it this weekend. Of course you're not going to be that good. Don't fake that. But, so he told me that, and because of that attitude, he gave me his business card, his personal line, And he told me who to talk to here in Tampa to help get me squared away to prepare my next portfolio because he wanted to see it. How many people get that? Not many. Because most of us spend time trying to be like, oh, okay, trying to impress someone instead of just really trying to learn. Look, I'd rather do something wrong or weak and learn from it than try to think I've got all the answers and just come across like a fool. So yeah, I would say, as far as the question about what you want to do to get into comics and what skills you need, just practice those things you need to practice. You know what's in a comic book. All you gotta do is spend $4 or $5 on a comic at a local comic shop. Pick the guy you like or the gal you like that draws, and try to do it. Try to do it with the way they're doing it. Is your work comparable? Is your work on par? Does it evoke the same emotion for you or the people that's next to you? Ask some people there, what do you think about this? You might not, unfortunately, most people don't want to go out of their way to hurt your feelings, so they probably won't tell you the truth. But expect the truth. Look for the truth. Ask for the truth. And people will tell you more stuff. Who do you like that doesn't draw any comics anymore? You guys make me want to go see your stuff. Okay, I can't. I don't want to. Let's see. Give me a second. Start to. I'm going after you right now, Lance Luke. Okay. So you have no bio. You have no art. Okay, so okay, fine, but he still draws. He's still done some stuff recently. Go and take an old comic. Take an older issue he's done. Take your art, put it there. If you feel like that's the kind of style that you work in, okay? Your cartoony style. Compare your cartoony style to other cartoony styles. Does it work? And I think what you'll discover from that is that's the kind of stuff that will help change your perspective on your work. And believe it or not, as I said before, you'll get good at just looking at your work and saying, you know what, I gotta change this, I gotta change that. Because now you spend so much time in that conversation, you're picking up on the lingo, you're picking up on the. That's why I love talking about art in general. Movies, I am not the guy. If you want me to be I will tell you when I'm just a mindless zombie over a particular movie. I will tell you, oh, I love that, and I don't care what you say. It could be the garbage movie in the world, but it's my favorite movie, I don't care. And that's whatever. But I will tell you that up front. Otherwise, expect a dissertation. What I mean by that is, I take that stuff seriously. I take my craft seriously. I want to talk about my work, and I want it to be impactful. I want it to resonate with people, and I want people to be aware of that I'm a professional, first of all, and that I understand that sometimes I could be better. And so when I look at a movie, I'm looking for quality stuff too. When people were going nuts over Star Wars, I was one of the first people to say it, that in my group, that is just the same movie as episode 4, 5, and 6. I just rehashed the whole thing. And I told that to my buddy who went to the movies with me, and he was like, "You're crazy. You're crazy." Well, that's because he's a Star Wars mark. I love Star Wars too, but I can also be objective, and I can think that's the better word. That's the better term. Learn to be objective about your work and the people that you love. There are guys that I love that I can pick them off the shelf. I love their work, but there are times they mess up. It's gonna happen. So what you're really trying to do is appreciate why they messed up. Is it because they were trying to meet the deadline? Is it really a weakness in their work? But just because you have a weakness doesn't mean you're not good. But it all depends on how much of a weakness, right? If everything is weak, then think about it. Don't quit your day job, as they say. But work towards it. Work towards it. Don't let me tell you you're not good enough. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Go do it, and then when we're all done, we'll look back and say, I was an idiot. There's a great story about that. You know, the two guys, um, um, Siegel and Schuster, the guys that created Superman. They showed some of that stuff, their stuff, to who was an editor who would turn out to be Will Eisner. And Will Eisner, later on, because of that story, developed something called the Spirit. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because he said in a special thing I saw on comic book history that he turned them down. They could have been the publisher of Superman. They turned them down. They said it wasn't good enough. Right? So one man's trash is another man's treasure. You don't know if it's what you need to do. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, go for it. Be open and honest about your work, and get better. Oops. All right. So I'm known for my rants, just so you know. I'm very opinionated, and but I hope it was meaningful. I hope it was worth it. I'm certainly not here to bust your chops for busting chops' sake. Um, you know, that's why I also, but don't forget, I'm an art director, so my job is to critique. My job is to review. My job is to look and make determinations and see if there's a way we can fix something, make it better, blah, blah, blah. So take that for what it's worth. Oops. All right, so I'm kind of add a couple of lines here or there, beef up some of the contrast, get more out of this drawing. When I start doing Deadpool, it's going to have a different look. Isn't that great? I love you can just turn something. Makes me happy. So I'm just making sure that my lines underneath are strong and bold and getting the look I want. All good advice. I have no illusions of ever working. I started too late, but teaching myself to draw again at 40 just because I love it, just getting a little less awful every day is the goal. There you go, Slow Hands In. And please don't. I hope that I did not come across suggesting that you should listen. Just first of all, it's freaking comic books. It's art. It's fun. Have fun. Have fun first. I guarantee you, if you want to improve, have fun, and you'll start to enjoy successes, and you want to succeed more. I hear you, man. I'm 40. I'll be 43 this year, and I didn't take this stuff seriously till about 6-7 years ago. I was always drawing and stuff, and if you looked at my work back then to now, night and day. There's elements of my style or whatever you want to call it, but it was not as good as what I'm doing now, and it's because of the time. I mean, just got to find projects that you love to do, that's exciting for you, and gives you an opportunity to sink your teeth into it, and really enjoy that. So let's see your cool work on Instagram when you write something like "Still Not in a Comic." I just can't believe it. Well, that was back then, I finally got into comics. But I gotta tell you, I'm not. I heard someone say this. Wilfredo Torres said this on an interview recently. He said, staying in comics is a lot like getting into comics. It's hard, man. There's so much competition. There's only so many books on the shelf. But I do have a couple of things. I have cooking, and you might see me. It might not be Marvel DC right away again, but I have some ideas. I also have my own ideas, by the way. We live in a great time right now, and all you gotta do is produce a product. Put it. Don't forget about the comic shop. Put it online. And then I have a great book for some of you guys that might be interested in this. It's called, let's see, by several authors. It's called How to Make Webcomics. Super important book. It goes over all of these ideas about how to turn the comic business, at least the comic strip business, on its head, and getting out of that mode where you think you have to charge everybody for every comic strip. Really good. And then there's a companion book to it by Brad Geiger, who's one of the authors in the original book, called The Webcomics Handbook. And this is more like a how-to. I really, really recommend this book to you guys. It's really important. It's a different model than what you're aware of, and I definitely support it. So I thought you guys would appreciate that. All right, folks. I think I got another 6 minutes left till 2 o'clock in the morning. Oops. And I'm gonna try to knock this out. Well, no, I'm not gonna get it done in 6 minutes. So, yikes. I'm just going to try to do a couple of things left. If you guys have any last minute questions, let me know, because I'll be signing off in about 5-6 minutes. And also, if you have a comment about the session, if you think it was useful to you, if you think there's something I can do better, aside from the obvious, I know I got to get the profile squared away and that stuff, but if there's anything that you think can use some tweaking, let me know. I want this to be a comfortable environment for you guys to come relax and chill with me while I work. So, you guys are really thinking about it. And also, put on, if you're so inclined, if you wouldn't mind, consider maybe what would you want to see more of, Let's see. Useful, very useful. It's good to hear your story and also to interact with you. It's amazing compared to Insta. You might wait forever for a question to be answered. Hope to keep catching you on Twitch. It's a great time here in Australia. Okay, awesome. And thank you for the Australia follow. I appreciate that. More warm-up sketching, I think. Okay, okay. Just glad you're here. Love watching your work process stuff. It's fun for me to watch. Do you have any favorite resources when you were learning? How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. Huge. Everything I learned, and what's great about that book is it's not all spelled out for you. More burnt and shredded spandex. Okay. Yeah, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. It's not all spelled out, but I would say also if you get a handle on Andrew Loomis, those books used to be out of circulation, and they are back in publication. Unfortunately, because you used to be able to get nice PDFs and not feel guilty about it, but since they're back in publication, let the guilt storm commence. But anyway, yeah, just check that out. Andrew Loomis is a really important book. Guys like Jim Lee, he learned from that guy. A lot of big time guys. Simonson. Most of my favorite guys are Loomis guys. Figure Drawing for All It's Worth. There you go. Also Successful. Is it called Successful Drawing or Successful Illustration? Is a good one too. Drawing the Head and Hands. It's good. Fun with a Pencil, though meant for children's, got a lot of great stuff in there. Yeah, I mean, I haven't even gone through all of it yet either, but those were big parts. Like me just looking at the pictures and kind of going through that. Oh, probably less than a minute now. Andrew Loomis, that is correct. Beast of a man. Well, artist. I don't think he was that big a guy anyway. Oh man, this is the longest minute of my life. Alright guys, another 2 o'clock. Have a good night, sir. Thank you for sharing your work. You got it, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate my second Twitch session. Like I said, feel free to add some extra commentary if you feel so inclined, if you think it needs it. If not, I'll be back. I'll try to be back tomorrow. If not, I'll definitely notify everybody on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. So thanks again, guys. I appreciate it, and God bless you guys, and have a great night. And if I don't see you tomorrow, have a great Tuesday, and rock it out. Peace.